All right. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday, for the most part, we got more of the same related to the major indices. So we've got 4 days of moving sideways in the spiders here. And they're not moving this morning either. And they're right near the top there. So they've been consolidating at this pivot, which is bullish. The dip keeps getting bought even yesterday. Right? Was it first thing in the morning? Well, that was pre-market. It was a nasty dip to the downside. You can see right there on the 5-minute chart. And it immediately recovered and just made a grind to the upside. Now, one thing we'd like to see these break out, right? So, as I mentioned earlier in the week, um, there's a lot of bets going out in options that we're going to hit 7,000 this month. That's the wager. So far, the price action in SPX, so far, the price action supports that. Um, just needs to get going to break out here. 4 days of going sideways at resistance, it should be able to. Now, so what we see is that while this isn't moving, well, you could look, over here, you see this has been moving up. This is AI. But if we look at equal weighted, you see this is deeper into the all-time high. And some dogs, real semiconductor dogs, like On Semiconductor, ON, had a big day yesterday. So the equal weighted broke out above those highs with a wide range bar. And that supports, as long as it doesn't go back down here, it should be able to continue to push up. So what that tells us is that, again, certain stocks, are moving quite nicely. And the underlying, right, that we look at isn't moving as much. So the spiders aren't moving up as much. And the Qs are going sideways there. And Alex is giving some guidance that value, SPY, is SPYV, SPYV, YV, I mistyped, is just inched up. While going sideways, it consolidated up near that high. And on a closing basis, as you can see, it made a new all-time high. So look, things are positive. There's a lot of choppy price action going on as well. So certain stocks, a lot of the dogs are moving. So we look at things like, KRE, which is consolidating. That broke out. Um, well, I'm not even going to look at biotech. That's been doing well, but money flowing into beaten down stocks like home builders. So sideways at resistance, uh, unchanged here. So not a big deal. So money's looking for things that haven't moved and not so much looking for things that have moved or have done well. So we see a lot of the mag stocks. Well, Apple has done well. You can see here, that's at a new all-time high. While Meta looks like potentially could be a short today. Now, I don't know. Something must be some news. Look at the way that thing's moving here. I don't know what the news was, but it's gapping up to its 200-day moving average. So I saw this going sideways last night. I thought, oh, maybe that's going to roll over and pull back. And so something's going on there. Things that make you say, oh, European Union antitrust issues. I don't know why that would move it like that, but whatever. It's moving. Uh, Nvidia had a buyers step up there and push up toward resistance and got knocked back down. It's not doing much here today. So that's just consolidating. Got to keep an eye on this to see if it breaks down further, or what it's going to do, because it's not participating. So institutions are selling this on rallies. It'll be interesting to see if its days are numbered and whether it breaks down into next year. I suspect it will not happen this year. But if they're going to continue to selling, they'll probably wait until the year is over to do it. What is it saying? Oh, some other news. Zuckerberg plans to cut companies' metaverse efforts, which have been basically a bust. All right. All right. So look, you got to stick with things that aren't doing too well. So there are some software stocks out there that look pretty interesting. Now, this is a software ETF that poked up there today. It's kind of unchanged, give or take a little bit today. So, we'll see if today continues, whether it consolidates again or what it's going to do. See, different stocks are moving, so we got to find what is ready to move. Now, healthcare continues to do well. There's a buy setup that's forming here. You can see the nice uptrend that it's in, and our ETF letter has been in this for a while. And so this may be an add place. We'll see if it can make the turn here. It's right at minor support. It's near an all-time high. So, looking at the higher time frame, it's up at this resistance area, but so far it's acting really, really well. All right, Bitcoin down a little this morning. It's gotten up to its declining 20 MA. There's some congestion there. So I'm interested to see if this begins to pull back at what it's going to do, whether it goes sideways here. So decent price action. I would say pretty normal price action after an accelerated move like this. Not much of a bounce yet, but it's a start. We'll see what that does. Well, I'd like it to pull back too, Robert. It'd be good if it pulled back. I'd like to see it go down there and retest, but we'll see if it does. Oil's not doing anything, just jiggling along here. No great interest in that. And gold is consolidating. This is a nice little consolidation happening at resistance. Now it's got to take out this little congestion area on the right there, but that's the kind of price action you want to see after a move up to resistance. So that kind of price action for now supports that it'll go higher. Silver is consolidating. And again, after a move like that, to be going sideways, sellers aren't running away. And that dip down toward that other bottoming tail bar, buyers stepped up again. And what else could we take a look at here? There's pretty much things are just consolidating a bit. And, we'll see. You can look at the stocks within aerospace and defense. I mean, it's just going sideways. So what has moved, is consolidating at resistance. It's decent price action. And if the big things are going to start to move, like Amazon looks like it could pull back some more. If that starts to pull back, Netflix, that isn't doing well. Actually, it's doing quite poorly. Right? That moved down. Um, you know, Microsoft gap down yesterday, and Google, that looks like it should be able to go higher. So, kind of a split decision as to what's going to get going. So we'll just have to see where things go as we get the start of a new day. Just take a peek at the futures before I hand it over to Dan. And so there's that sideways price action, and they're inching up. Something, buyers stepping up here in the last 10 minutes, pushing it a little higher. So there's always a concern when prices are coming up toward resistance area. but after 4 days of going sideways, it should be able to push up through that. Um, Buyers continue to step up there. This looks like it may have, I think, may have the better. I don't like the 5 minute as it's trading here, but I don't really put a tremendous amount of weight on what's happening pre-market with these because it's lower volume. Whereas if looking at IWM, yeah, if it open, it's opening around here, and so if that consolidates a bit, I put more weight on what this is doing, and if it starts to percolate there, we can then the futures will take out that pre-market resistance and see if this can continue to move up to an all-time high. And let's take a look at YM. So YM, that looks pretty good. That's or the futures are up close to a resistance area. And if we look at the diamonds, it's just consolidation up near the high. So this potentially could push up to an all-time high. So we'll see how it all shapes up. Transports, we could look at transports have been doing well. What's one of my YT? This is more. This is some other stocks other than just the 20 and the transports, but that broke out. I looked at the 20 transportation stocks yesterday, and overall, I wasn't too impressed as far as looking at those. But some others that are this is in transports, but maybe some others that are. This is what I mean. I look at something like this, and it's just moving up toward resistance. But I didn't look at the other. They're like 50, I think, in IYT and only 20. Yeah, what rails? Yeah. So yeah, had a good day yesterday. Maybe a little consolidation, but considering that we're into the last month of the year, this is the beginning of the first week. Um, fear of missing out may just drive things up without any consolidation. So to you, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, yesterday we were saying in the morning that diamonds look the best. So a crazy move right now. I'm just thinking about crowd psychology. Like, it's the fundamentalists will dictate how Meta's moving here based on that news. Well, plus overreaction. What I mean, just think about it. What moves stock prices? Supply and demand. So when there's a news item, why is Meta ripping? Why is it up $30 on this news? I don't know. I'm not a fundamentalist, but they're saying that it's good news. So I guess as Greg said, they were just wasting money. So now if they're deciding to abandon that and not waste money, that helps stock price. But then why is this one company specific news driving the spiders up, ripping like this too? And that's the crowd psychology part. Some of it obviously is mechanical because it's in the index. I get that, but S&P 500 Meta's only one stock. You see my point? Like, why are the spiders ripping this much if it's only Meta news? But that's, I guess the truth is, who cares? Why? Alarms. I don't have many here. Perva, thanks, Sam. This was on your list. Nice little buy setup, bull flag. Let's see where it opens. Yeah, it's showing it up, gapping up here, 24.53. Silver alarm, gapping down. I think that's it. AX, we entered this yesterday. A curve. We have a put spread. Up alarm went off. So we're going to try to get out of that. This morning at 3 cents. These stocks, nice the four stocks in this thing. They all had nice moves yesterday afternoon. So I'm watching all four of those. That's it on alarms. Let's go to earnings. Yeah, but Alex, the total difference with Debbie and me is she's really looking for the reason, and I don't care about the reason. I'm questioning to try to get a tradable theme. And then also just crowd psychology always interests me. Like when people buy Climos, I wanna call that person and say, this stock just ran from $5 to 50. What made you buy it at $50? I just think that's amazing crowd psychology. All right, these are earnings. Yeah, Netflix was tanking yesterday morning, remember? Had that nasty gap. And I'm assuming it's related to the takeover of that Sky Paramount or whatever. But yeah, that's when was the last time Netflix had parallel and declining 20 and 50? So that is damaged. But got extended there, breakdown there, void. I think we talked about, Alex, did we talk about this being a home run short because of this void? I forget. All right, earnings, back to earnings. Great, KKR. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. All right, Pat. Tim, I keep getting distracted here. All right, Tim's asking about, yeah, 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 it looks great, Tim. Wide range igniting, and this is a kind of a bull rectangle consolidation that stayed in the upper 50%. So yes, you can buy, what's today, Thursday? You can buy over 842. I'll set an alarm. It shows a gap and down 8 cents. So I always do early alarms. I'll set an alarm at 8:39. But yeah, I like it for a bottoming pattern. Earnings. 16 bucks. It's bullish, but no pattern. Cream was flying last night. I thought it was a whole lot higher. 243. So now it's only up a couple bucks, but put spread idea. Today's Thursday, so I love selling put spreads today, because then it's only one DTE. Snow. It was actually a bullish pattern that's suggested, but there was no good price void. And now it's gapping down 244. I have it here in the bottom right. We'll just watch it, see when buyers step up, maybe put spread for tomorrow. AI 1518, another bottoming pattern. Started with this 180 and a 123, went sideways, has room to 16. We'll come back. Next, another bottoming pattern. I think I looked to sell puts on this, and I think it didn't have weeklies was the problem. Gapping to 27. So it's gapping to the top of this trading range. We'll come back. 167. No pattern. We'll come back. PBH 8450. That's a call spread. Don, you like helping me on these? So that this is 5-minute low is a 1 DTE call spread. 102.50, gapping right in the middle, no interest. 230, another bottoming pattern. 235, but the gap's too big. But MEI gapping down from a Climo. So whenever I see a rally like this into earnings, just my plain bias, if it opens up, down, or sideways, my bias is down, just because that's usually what happens when something rips into earnings. It's sell the news. So you're not going to find any premium at $9. Another bottoming pattern, $87. All right, this one is not bad. This one I'll put in a window because see how the gap is not excessive like some of those other ones that I said was excessive. How do you define excessive? Well, I just do it with visual relative to the candlesticks. DSGX. So, I like them when they gap just over resistance. Let's gap in the 87. So yeah, that's a big gap. I take that back. But it's not excessive. Like if they were gapping to the 50, I'd say that's my target. So forget about it. But now that it's gapping up here, what I want to see is a controlled pullback in after the open. The TPC, that's a little bit similar to this one I said I got from Sam, but I like this one better. This is a better buy setup full flag, but they're a little similar. TD and 3 Canadian banks here, but no patterns. Charlie Max, nothing. Kroger's been trading like a mess. That's a bearish gap, but I just don't trade things with these chaotic overlapping bars. Look at all the MAs are flat. Up and down the low 60. It's just I've got no interest in that. Dollar General. So this is a gap in crap. Gap in crap. 1 DTE call spread idea. Bigger the gap, the better. I wish they were gapping a 120. BFB, that also would have been a good one if it were gapping up to like $33, but it's opening flat, so I have no bias. I'm going to delete you. Hurl's a breakout, but let's see, that's excessive to me. Look at that horizontal line. That's huge relative to this size of these bars, and it's gapping a resistance. So I got no interest in that. $90. Okay, so this is a buy setup, rising 20, gapping over a red bar. So this is one I like to watch on a pullback. Actually, I'll put that here. I'm not gonna. Cream would be the 1 DTE put spread on a pullback also. But I want to watch this DCI for directional. Recent IPO opening flattish. Needs to go. If it can go sideways 1 or 2 more bars, then I think it could chug its way up to 34, which hey would be a nice gain. I'll keep that on the list. That's a nice bull rectangle, but gapping up $5, too much. SIAC, another bottoming pattern, gapping to 92, gapping right to resistance. Tiger, 50, gap another 200. It's worth watching on if you get a controlled pullback. I'll keep it on the list of bull rectangle at resistance. So I like that over yesterday's high. I will set an alarm. I can't tell where it's opening, so I'll just set an alarm 1:34:20. We'll give it 5 minutes. And then decide if we got a trade on our hands or not. Another bottoming pattern, gapping down to 54, no pattern. GCO. Bull rectangle, but gap. Wow, that's an ugly gap. That gets the award for the ugliest earnings gap here today. Look at that, it's gapping below my whole chart. That's getting whacked. Genesco, I don't even know what they do. Another bottoming pattern. We'll come back, maybe a 30-minute high. All right, those are all the earnings. All right, Greg mentioned KKR. This would be a nice a nice 30-minute high trade. Let me also check puts. This would be a good no-brainer put spread over yesterday's high. With eyeballing down here, if there's any juice at 120 would be wonderful. Now, pattern like this, I don't mind going out to next week. So there's 70 by $1. And the further out of the money puts are spready, but yeah, we'll come back to them. This Asda, Alex, that's your list. I have an alarm. Looks good. Oh, I had some other alarms going off here. Triple W bottoming pattern, up alarm went off. CSGP, another bottoming pattern there. I'm going to set an alarm 6920 or 69 rather. IONQ alarm. Another one of inverse head and shoulders. Well, that looks good. ALK, Alaska Airline, a wide range breakout. The weekly, monthly are turning also. So it's not a core trade or anything, but it's the logical place to enter for a bounce. XYF, a little Climo I've been watching. So this could be a good 30-minute high, particularly that it's pulling in right now. So I will reset the alarm. XYF, I'll reset it to 720. NMAX, Tim, NMAX alarm. Yeah, I like this. Let's buy over 842. Stop week low. Do you remember when this thing, what it went to like $300 or something ridiculous? Diamond's coming out of the gate the strongest here. Q's pulling back. This Priva Sam pulled in, so I still like it. I'll reset the alarm. So look at the Q's giving up the entire gain. I told you I was shaking my head on crowd psychology, why markets were so friggin' happy on that Meta News. Made no sense to me. Doesn't mean I won't trade the charts accordingly, but it was a head scratcher for me. You heard me say it.
Maybe the opposite of what I've seen happen lately, where the markets spiked down and reversed right back up again. Yesterday was a big one, but maybe if this doesn't get bought down at the pre-market lows, maybe that would be an indication it's going to go lower, somewhat lower today. And semiconductors are moving lower, SMA.
Beyond meat, we're going calls. All right, these quantum computing alarms, RIG-T, QBTS. We did a put spread on this, but I like it directional too. $25, $30. EPG. Yeah, yep. Like I said, I liked that 15-minute late day breakout yesterday. CSGP, bottoming pattern. Let me reset my alarm. I don't know why it went off. Whoa, look at Q's. What is Amazon falling? Google falling? Listen, again, I'm acting dramatic on the 5-minute bar, but I'm sure if we look at the hourly or daily, it's no big deal. And DCI middle. This is look, DCI. I said I like the gap over the red bar buy setup, but didn't give me a good entry. But that's a nice pattern. Buy setup, gapping over a red bar. Shoot, what happened to our UPS? That was a beautiful breakout yesterday. That, we use the term accidents. It didn't hit our stop yet, but still, that's we define accidents as looking at a pattern that come in all different flavors, and you just shaking your head saying that shouldn't have happened. That's what an accident is. That shouldn't have happened.
Watch SanDisk here, Dan. Put it in your list. See if it makes the turn. You could start with a put spread. It's early, but it's stabilizing down in this prior low.
Like, what are their planes crash at takeoff? Did it happen within the last 3 minutes, 5 minutes, Sam? The market's been open 6 minutes, and this did not gap down. So unless you're telling me it just happened. SanDisk. If it makes the turn, ooh, I don't like the retracement from this. Let's check the cousins. WDC, nope, that's a breakout failure. STX, nope. Yeah, I'm not excited about those. Meta actually gave a 15-minute buy setup for a put spread. Let's see if there's any juice at 6:45 for tomorrow. There is $1.05. So let's Wow, they're all expensive. You gotta go $10 wide to get 50 cents though. I would do that if it were zero DT. I'm not doing that with news. FNB alarm. This could be a 30-minute high, or if it closes like this, it's actually two bull 1, 2, 3s in a row. If it closes like this. ONDS alarm. I'd like it to close like this though, Thomas. Or at a minimum 30-minute high. 15 minutes, okay. Lunar. Yeah, yeah, that's an inverse head and shoulder, sure. Yeah, I like that one better. That one's good to go. Yeah, that's good to go with a void. Target 1150. Yeah, that's a nice inverse head and shoulder bottom.
I bought this Rigetti. It hasn't broken out. Put a stop under yesterday's low. So maybe it gets going. RGTI.
Further insane on this for puts.
Yeah, I'll put the charts up. I usually wait a little while because when I put mine up, I'm going to take social media down now. When I put mine up, social media switches to my charts. I don't know why.
Look at IONQ looks good. Up alarm. And so the 47 puts. Tomorrow, 45 cents. That's the next week too. $45 puts. Yeah, let's buy this stuff. Yesterday's low. Mr. Alarm. Oh, this thing's pretty. 45. Ooh, that- I did not get filled. I'm trying to sell a put spread on this IONQ. And max hitting. Yeah, MX looks good. Wow, spreading. 6 cent spread? I expected it to be a penny with thickness. All right, I just got in at, I bid 40 and got filled. That was me, that last print. There you go, filled again at 840.
Diamonds, breakout failure. All of them except for the Russell.
Mhm.
Well, the Russell gapped down, so
Silver pulling in. Mr. Alarm. Kind of a pseudo inverse head and shoulder. I said that yesterday. I hope it goes sideways here. Limo weekly. Google, Amazon, week. Mr. 1 DTE. Let's try 177.50. Yeah, it's $1. Um, yeah, let's do it over yesterday's high. Snow bottom right, new low. Ooh, I gotta keep that as a quick spread. Probably. I think more of a foot spread, but 30-minute high might get a 1, 2, 3. I was looking at Archer this morning also, because Archer I think is a little better, weaker, but I think it's a cleaner target to the 200. And they were showing their flying taxi on CNBC today. Curve, we got a foot spread, looks good. Get these things posted. Yeah, that didn't trigger yet. Wait, that's over 25. That's 25, 29. There you go.